Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Mma Analyst here to do my recap for UFC 119. Let's get right down to it. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let me just say I still haven't had a chance to watch Joe Dirksen versus CB Dollaway. Basically, I was up watching Dream this morning and had to be to work for 8, which means I had to leave for work for 7. The show ended at like 6:51 or something like that. So literally I was up right to the point of just hopping in my car, driving to work, went to work, 8 hours, came home, you know, blah, blah, blah. Was watching that Mitrione-Beltran fight and fell asleep after that fight. Totally missed Dollaway. And I woke up at 10:02 and got my main card on. But anyways, y'all, Frank Mir versus Mirko Cro Cop. Yeah, we had a knockout, and the crowd seems to have a very short memory, but I pride myself on not being somebody with a short to no memory at all. That fight was terrible. I did predict Mirko Cro Cop would lose by a 3rd round KO or TKO. It ended up being in the 2nd round. Cro Cop's not the same dude, you know. There's no getting around it. I don't know how many times we need to see this, you know, against, all of his recent opponents. He's had similar showings, except for, sometimes the fight was brought to him, and sometimes, he was able to, rebound, and other times it was Junior Dos Santos, making him quit. It is what it is, but the fight sucked for a few reasons. Number one, Frank Mir, he doesn't have good wrestling. He doesn't have a double leg. He's not the kind of guy that can go out there and pull off a Brock Lesnar or Shane Carwin or Cain Velasquez or anything like that, where they can say, I am going to bring this fight to the ground right now. I mean, it's just not going down like that. He doesn't have that game. He has, you want to take me down? Sure, I won't really fight the takedown. We'll end up in half guard and we'll go from there. But he's not, going to take anybody down. Doesn't matter if he has a 30-pound weight advantage, especially against somebody like Mirko Cro Cop, where, one thing that he does have still is pretty good takedown defense. Half the time they were, when Frank Mir was coming in, kind of wildly, reaching in for that clinch, which, by the way, would have got him knocked out 5 years ago against a Cro Cop who just blasts people if they were coming at him with punches, let alone zombie arms. But when they ended up pushed up against the fence, Brock Lesnar, they kind of look the same from the back with the little back muscles and ugly tattoos. Anyways, Frank Mir, didn't even have double underhooks. He didn't have a single underhook. Half the time, he would get him up against the cage, just lean on him around like, he would be literally leaning his chin on Mirko Cro Cop's shoulder. And Cro Cop would have double underhooks. You're not getting a takedown from there. I don't care what your corner's saying, drop down and he'll drop with you. Forget all that. You're not getting a takedown, especially when you're not really trying. Because you don't really believe that it's going to be effective and you don't want to waste a whole lot of energy. Speaking about not wasting a whole lot of energy, that's what I'm going to do with this fight. I'm not going to waste a lot of energy on it. Frank Mir did not look great. He did end it with a nice knee. Good job. Cro Cop, this was your 70th fight. You've spent more than half your career about half your career in kickboxing K1. That's it, you know what I mean? It was a good ride. Let's not go any further down this road. It would have been nice to leave on a win or a streak, but not everybody gets what they want. Frank Mir, you got the win, and, that's it. But didn't look too good anywhere else, to be completely honest. Nogueira versus Ryan Bader. We've got some serious problems, y'all. We have some very serious problems. And by problems, I mean refereeing and judging. Tonight, refereeing wasn't a problem. but judging was disgraceful. This fight here, I think Bader won. I have no problem with judges saying Bader by decision. I do have a problem with all three judges saying 30-27 for Ryan Bader. Especially in the third round, where all Ryan Bader did was run away from punches, get hit a lot, be completely tired, and then fling his body at somebody who was being aggressive, get a takedown for like 1 second once, and then right back to the feet and running and being tired, and then throw his body the second time when obviously Nogueira knew, I got to finish this fight, and, Ryan Bader got the takedown and sat in his guard for the last 30 seconds of the fight. Out of the 5 minutes of the third round, Ryan Bader was on top and did absolutely no offensive anything for the 32 seconds that he was in Nogueira's guard in the third round. And they all gave that round to Ryan Bader. Gross. There's a real serious problem. The right guy won. Some people could even say that they think Nogueira won because of, maybe he won another round. That's fine. If they go 29-28 either way, I'm not really hating on it. But 30-27, all three judges is a damn disgrace. What you had here was Ryan Bader. Like I said, his stand-up is not good. His takedowns are pretty good. But Nogueira, I think he stuffed like 12 out of 15 takedown attempts. It was all around just not a good fight. And the 30-27 thing really left a sour taste in my mouth. I was just like, what does Nogueira have to do to win a round? He has to knock you out to win a round? That's really bad. Nogueira, it is what it is. He's a really slow starter. And, you can't do that. You can't give away a round when you're not guaranteed another round, or any round for that matter. You have to fight from when they say, the first ring, or the first ding, or the first bell, the first second of the fight. You have to start fighting. And he is notorious for, literally just, zombieing his way through rounds and then deciding to fight. And then, sometimes winning, or most of the time winning, and sometimes, he'll get knocked out, and, well, not sometimes, because it's only happened once, but, knocked out when he's in his little lull state. Not a good fight. We got the main event, not a good fight. This fight here, not a good fight, and bad judging. Chris Lytle versus Matt Serra. It was good to see Chris Lytle do what he did. It's kind of, when you're like, man, it's nice to see somebody do that. I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to see him do what he did. Go out there, have some solid striking, nice shoulder rolls, rolling with the punches. Anytime Matt Serra hit him, he would just roll in the shoulder. Really, really had some nice movement. Very nice. It wasn't as brawly as it always is, which is nice. They're going to get fight of the night, which is not too difficult to do on this card, but they would have probably on most cards anyways. Great job by Chris Lytle. Tough fight for Matt Serra. Didn't look bad for somebody who was coming off. How long was this layoff? Last time he fought was February 2010, so he fought, maybe 8 months ago. And, and it was a short, quick fight against Frank Trigg. And then before that, he had his back-to-back losses to George St. Pierre and Matt Hughes. So, a good showing, but, he did get tooled. But, good fight. Thank God there was at least one good fight. Then we have a just disgusting display of judging again. And this is not even... There's 3 of them. But this is the worst one. Sean Sherk versus Evan Dunham. I don't even want to really get into it. It's just absolutely horrible. You have Evan Dunham, who is literally round 1, sure. He gets taken down. Sean Sherk, in round 1, I have no problem. You know what I mean? Sean Sherk is on, he's doing what he should do. Getting in close and being boring and trying to get his opponent to the ground. And it's Evan Dunham's job to try and stuff the takedowns, to try and whatever. He gets him to the ground. He does some nice ground and pound. He cuts him open real bad. But that's it. He did nothing else in that fight. You can pretty much stop Sean Sherk's effectiveness in this fight at that cut. First round, Sean Sherk. Second round, Evan Dunham. Third round, Evan Dunham. The third round obviously was just an absolute, it was just completely outclassing Sean Sherk in every aspect of the fight. But it was clear that Sean Sherk thought he won rounds 1 and 2 and was just coasting for round 3. But round 2, you had Evan Dunham, doing of kind of a toned down version of what happened in round 3, but he won round 2. And you know what? Even if he didn't win round 2, the problem is this 10-point must system in American judging, in American fights and the judging combined is just terrible. Even if Sean Sherk won round 1 with a cut and round 2 with, I don't know, whatever you want to say he won it with, round 3 from what Evan Dunham did should have been enough in a Japanese style referee who won the fight to actually win that fight. Evan Dunham did in the third round multiple times over what Sean Sherk did in rounds 1 and 2, which was lean against the cage, fight for takedowns but not get them, get a couple takedowns, one solid elbow that cut him open. I mean, oh my God. I got people, not one person, not two people, multiple people sending me messages like, yo, man, this thing is really killing me. The judging and the way people are fighting now, I'm really losing my, my whatever. I mean, I really can't hate on people, you know what I mean, if they don't like seeing bad judging decisions and people put together game plans just simply for the fact of, if I can do this, then maybe I can get a win. I don't really want to try and finish anybody. Sean Sherk did a good job in the first round. But, I mean, it's up to the judges to reward the guy who actually won the fight when it goes to the judges' scorecards. Gross. And it only continues with the Melvin Guillard, Jeremy Stephens fight. You had Melvin Guillard jumping in and jumping out, doing his best impression of Frankie Edgar, but not even nearly as combination, geared. It was very point oriented. It was very Greg Jackson oriented. I mean, you've got him coming back from a round where he was able to get in, come back, just avoid getting hit. And Greg Jackson, and he's a good coach. That was a great round. Sure, it was for the fighter if you're just trying to rack up points and go home. But you've got, and Melvin Guillard winning is definitely important for him because so many times he goes out there and he does stupid stuff and he loses. So it's, I'm kind of talking out of both sides of my mouth. You need to tame a guy like Melvin Guillard because he is his own worst enemy. But at the same time, do you need to take all entertainment and all exciting values away from Melvin Guillard? Can you not make a guy win but not be completely anti engagement? Is that possible? Please, if it is, I'll give mad props to that guy. And then a judge gives all three, like when they said split decision, round 1, split decision, 29-28 Melvin Guillard, 29-28 Jeremy Stephens. I'm like, I can handle that. Then they said 30-27, and I'm like, oh, well, the fight's Jeremy Stephens, obviously, because third round was clearly Jeremy Stephens' round, so nobody could possibly give that round and the other 2 rounds to Melvin Guillard, so I guess it's Jeremy Stephens won the... No, they say Melvin Guillard. Not nearly as bad a robbery or a decision or a judge's F-up as the Sean Sherk Evan Dunham, but nonetheless, just not cool, man. Just so ugly. So you had your main card, which it consisted of bad judging and a completely boarded, restricted Melvin Gillard. A horrible decision by the judges in Sean Sherk versus Evan Dunham. A great fight for Chris Lytle and Matt Serra. A weak-ass fight by Nogueira and Ryan Bader. And then what would have been one of the worst fights in a long time if Cro Cop wouldn't have got knocked out by that knee. Not good. CB Dollaway versus Joe Dirksen, like I said, I went to sleep. But CB Dollaway got the modified guillotine choke. Congratulations. Matt Mitrione, mad props, Matt. Not only were you, he's definitely improved in his striking, and he's very calm and confident. And yeah, he's not facing an elite striker or an elite wrestler or an elite anything in Joey Beltran, but he was able to do what I didn't think he could do. And even though, again, Joey Beltran is not top 50, but Joey Beltran, I did believe he'd be able to get in there and hurt Mitrione like he did in the first and finish the fight. Or maybe tire Mitrione out. But what Mitrione was able to do was put together some really nice hand combinations, straight punches down the pipe. His cross is a little effed up. He throws his jab real nice, and if he throws 2 or 3 punches at a time, he can keep it, even though his chin's a little too high, but he can keep it nice down the pipe. But if he does a 1-2, his 2 is completely effed, and he turns his whole body, and it actually looks like a little slap like that. That's kind of ugly. But pretty much everything else is nice, except for his right kick. Whenever he would switch up to like a... Is he a southpaw, actually? Looked like he might have been southpaw. Anyways, whenever he would kick with that right foot, so he's a southpaw with that lead, man, that was ugly. But no, he definitely showed lots of improvement. This fight was definitely a loser gets kicked out of the UFC fight. We will get the news in the next week that Beltran's been released from the UFC. And then on the undercard, Thiago Tavares defeated Pat Audinwood. Awesome Audinwood. Steve Lopez was defeated by Waylon Lowe. By the way, decision. TJ Grant win over Julio Polino. And Mark Hunt got submitted by another Kimura in 1 minute and 3 seconds. So, depending on if Mark Hunt has another contractual obligation or the UFC is contractually obligated due to some old Pride documents that say he has to get another fight, he's going to get cut. And then he's going to gain a lot of weight and probably lose his 7th fight in a row somewhere else, unfortunately. He just didn't look good. But, that was that. The card sucked. Simple as that. The Dream card was actually pretty exciting. Some nice knockouts, some nice this. But the problem with that is nothing really mattered. There was really nothing with any relevance on that card. You had guys fighting guys that they should beat. There was a few fights that had maybe some type of title shot implications at featherweight, but it was exciting though. But damn. They gotta fix this judging, man. They gotta fix the judging system. They have to educate these judges. They have to do something. Boxing was partially killed because fans could not trust that judges would be able to make the right decisions. There were too many robberies. There was issues with cross promotion and whatnot. These are all things that are happening in MMA right now. Hell, you used to have bad judges in boxing, like Adelaide Bird, and then you took some of the worst judges in boxing, and now they're the judges in MMA. It's the same problem. It's the same judges, and hopefully we don't have the same outcome. But if they don't fix this and it just continues to have bad decision after bad decision, won an event, and you have 1 or 2 Shogun Machidas a year, I don't know. That's not good. That's all I can say. But it doesn't change anything as of right now, y'all. MMA, it's important. Peace.